Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we have a whole new round of TikTok videos. Let's do this. I before E. Let me just say to everyone out there so I don't have to say it ever again, I before E except after C. Then you will be able to spell piercing for the rest of your life the correct way. P-I-E-R-C-I-N-G. Thank you. Good night. Am I putting a fucking curved bar in there? What? Oh man. Let's just start by stating that we don't want to do this. Way too much risk in such an area, so much movement. If you look at your leg, pushing and pulling your leg, the skin stretches out and then goes back to like a relaxed state. Your legs move around so much. This area is never going to work. It is forever going to reject in a place like that. And also, if this were a piercing that could work in such an area, say there wasn't that amount of movement in that area, it would not be done with a curved bar. I think that's something that like these people who are piercing themselves at home don't really understand, is that piercing jewelry is picked very strategically for the particular area of the body, and such an area that would be flat would not work with a curved bar. If that were a piercing that we as piercers even attempted, even had in our catalog, it would not be done with a curved bar. It could be done in numerous ways. If it were a thing, it would either be done with something like a staple, dermal, but I still wouldn't put them in such an area. Imagine wearing jeans, stockings, so many things that you would put on would pull and tear that piercing, let alone the fact that the skin itself moves way too much.
I didn't tell you what to do yet. Chill. Okay? One for this here. See then. And out.
You didn't do it! I was so prepared. I'm so sorry.
No, stop talking. Let me do my shit, please.
I got you.
I'm trying to be the pro right here, okay?
You are.
I do this every day.
Yuck, what a piece of shit. I'm talking about the piercer here. Don't talk to someone like that. That's just rude as fuck. They are a client, they are paying you, and you should be doing everything to make them feel comfortable. If anything, this is making the person feel more uncomfortable. It happens. You don't tell a client who's moving away to let me do my shit. Yes, it can be frustrating. I understand that. I've been through it. I know. It can be very frustrating when someone keeps moving away, but what you need to do instead is literally explain to them what is going to happen and explain to them that they do need to stay still in a calm and like, it doesn't have to be a nurturing way. Don't get me wrong, sometimes you definitely have to be stern with someone to be like, you are going to need to stop moving just because it can cause more damage than good if you were to move when I'm about to put a needle through your nose. You say it to them in a nice but firm way. You don't like, let me do my shit. That's just like sassy and I'm not about it.
Day of my life. Now, you know why I didn't do it the first time? Because I know you're gonna move. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out.
You didn't do it.
Can you stop? Like for real though. Like no, like for real. Let me do my process because I don't trust you.
Ew, this piercer's talking like they're having a tantrum and it's so rude. This isn't the way you deal with someone. There are times when you have had client after client after client who has acted like this, and I get it. You can get frustrated, but you just don't talk to them like this. And as this person said, I do this every day of my life. If you do it every day of your life, you know how to react when someone moves away. You know when it's going to happen. You really just need to calm the person down enough to let them sit there and like take the piercing essentially. This client here is freaking out because the way they're being talked to, I wouldn't feel comfortable getting pierced by this person. I would just walk out. If someone is treating you like this, you need to walk out and like complain because that's not how you should be getting treated. For instance, I have had times where I have been so frustrated. Someone is crying, someone is like moving away, squealing, whatever they're doing because they don't want to get it, like fully grown adults doing this as well. And it is frustrating. but you don't sort of whine at them and be like, oh, like, let me do this. Like, I don't trust you. I basically just tell the person that by moving like that and continually moving, we can't actually get the piercing done because I do need you to sit still for the piercing. And it can also be a lot more dangerous if you were to move mid-piercing. You've got to explain the risks to them. A lot of the time clients don't understand how sharp those needles are and the damage they can do and the risks they are putting both of us at. I've never once pricked myself and then continued to pierce someone. We do not want that, and that's something that can happen. That's transferring blood right there. Generally, I will say I'm not going to do it until you're ready, and if you don't want to do it, you can come back on another day. And most of the time, if you are busy and things like that, you can say, you know, we haven't got enough time today. You can come back on another day where we have the time to sit here for a long time. And generally they'll just go, yep, no, I want it done. I'm here now, just do it. And they will sit. By just telling someone like this piercer did with such sass and like just pure rudeness, like, I do not want to prick my finger. Like, that is talking like someone who is having a tantrum, and it is very yuck and immature. I hate it. Talking to them like that isn't going to get them to understand, is it? Like, they're going, what the fuck? This person is like fucking harassing me. You've got to be calm but stern, but not rude to them. You don't want to be flat out rude like this and talking to them like you are stupid. The client doesn't understand. They are not a piercer. They don't even understand what it means when it says, I'm gonna prick my finger. Pricking a finger might just be like, well, what's the fucking problem with that? There is a big problem with that. It's the fact that like, that then poses a risk for like bodily fluids to be transferred. And it's very rare that something like that would happen, but it can. And you don't want that happening. That's the whole point of us understanding like infection and disease control. Bodily fluids and bloods can be transferred with tiny pricks, with tiny blood splatters. It can be transferred from one person to the next, and yucky, don't want any of that. Sorry for the rant. I just like, that makes me so frustrated. A client isn't going to understand that until you explain the full risks to them. If we were to prick our finger, it doesn't hurt. It's so like, it's just the fact that like you can prick your finger in the tiniest little bit and then you can bleed a lot because those needles are so sharp. Poor client, I feel sorry for them. That piercer was very rude and talking to them like they are stupid.
So I've had a lot of people ask me about this piercing. It is called a transmandible and it goes all the way through my jaw. Had about 14, 15 years. It wasn't bad getting done. I was really nervous about it because you gotta get a needle shoved through your freaking jaw. But other than that, wasn't bad. The swelling and healing process kind of sucked, and yeah, it does get caught on things from time to time, but you get used to that over the years. And yeah, I'm a part of a group called the Gorgeous Girls. We freaking rock. Love to get bloody and gory and all of that. So we do creepy things like putting wires through it with the light switches and light bulbs on it, and I can flick it on and off and floss it through, so I have lots of fun with it.
Wild. That is crazy. This is a piercing that I personally have never done. This is a piercing that I really doubt many piercers would do. It's a pretty extreme body modification. I genuinely have never seen this piercing before. So this is a first for me, and I may sound like I don't know anything now that I'm saying that, but it's just like not a common piercing. Maybe it was more of a piercing that piercers were experimenting with like she said, like 15 years ago, but it's certainly not one that we see piercers doing now. There's a lot more going on between those two areas than somewhere like your cheeks or like your lips, where we can sort of see what's going on. Even with just like a light, we can see where your veins are, what's happening under the surface. And this is the type of piercing that is now coming into like your oral health. Also, I don't see it being safe wearing such a long bar in there. You could definitely downsize. I mean, maybe it's just because she likes the look and wears it every so often. You don't need to wear a bar that long all the time for like any piercing. I just think it is a bit of a risky piercing and I would not advise getting it. If you've ever wondered what a fully healed piercing looks like. Ooh, hoo. We love. Absolutely divine. Also, I'm fairly sure this is one of the girls I had in my piercing video like a few weeks ago. I love it. It looks so good. It is perfect. We love to see it. We've been lying to y'all, they can leak. I mean, not all of them will, that's for sure. At a larger gauge than say 16, sure. But at 16 gauge, quite unlikely, but I mean, as we've seen, some people can get them to leak, some people can get water to come out of them. I wish I could. How it's going. Yeah, look, they're not... They suck. And some people are saying like, pop it, get the scissors, terrifying. I have mine in the same place and it looks the exact same. Please never get a helix. And there's tons of people in the comments like saying, don't ever get a helix. It's not that. Like I've said before, this isn't common if you aren't genetically disposed to getting keloid. So it is wise to check your genetics, your family history, to see if anyone's had keloids. And if you've had keloid scarring before, it is likely that you will get a keloid from a piercing, so just avoid piercings. I know it sucks. Keloids are so brutal, they're so horrible, but it is for the best to not get piercings. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like down below and subscribe if you're new here, and I will be back very soon. Bye!